Fala pessoal, aqui é a Tartaruga Inevitável. E tomara que vocês tenham visto o outro vídeo, que agora eu vou fazer escolhas diferentes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Cara, eu continuo no escritório, eu fico aqui. Pera, por que eu tô no computador? Não. Por que eu fui ser curioso? O computador tá desligado? Esse livro é do quê? Cara.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2, 2, 4, 6. Onde tá isso? Cara, que merda, eu não tinha um papel. E se isso foi importante?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
284. 2. Pera. 2.
2845.
4. 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Cara, o que meu chefe tá fazendo? Por quê? Meu chefe tem... Não, eu não queria descer.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized
Cara,
he felt
é
a
o final
bit
de
peculiar.
dois.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his
Acho que eu ainda não
job.
gravei.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Pera. E se eu quiser voltar? Eu tenho a opção de voltar.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well,
Não,
that's
daí
a
eu vou
great
descer de
question.
novo pra
I just
deixar
can't wait
o
to
cara
find
puto.
out.
Eu vou fazer isso, só de meme. Cara, que jogo legal. Cara, o primeiro final que nós conseguimos foi muito sacana. Vocês viram? Cara, se esses vídeos não fizerem sucesso também. Ah. Mas agora eu queria descer, não dá. Meus ovos que não dá. Eu quero descer.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Cara, o cara tá quase coringando.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
O som foi diferente da descida. Cara, será que foi mesmo a minha paranoica? Pensando que isso é um jogo de terror, esperando, achando que logo alguém vai aparecer.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was
No,
that
no
at the
são
end of this
ratos.
hall, Stanley would meet his... But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Essa é a mesma sala. Eu devia ter fugido.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Lá era
What
onde eu
horrible
tava.
secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Cara. Mas por que eu tô aqui?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a
Tá, mas
screen.
eu quero ir pra
And
lá.
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where
Vou
freedom
poder
meant
vir pra
nothing.
cá. Cara, mas tem mais coisas lá pra baixo. Cara. É, não tem outra escolha.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Mano, tem minigame pra eu fazer. Cara, como que será que é o minigame? Pera, eu acho que eu sei como que é. Eu acho que eu tenho que ver a cor daqui. Vermelho. Vermelho. Acho que é só minha esquizofrênica. Vermelho. Vermelho. Eu acho que eu tô acertando vermelho. Vermelho. Cara, agora eu vou subir. Pera. Por que tem aquele botão 5?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Que legal.
Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start.
Achei.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
Não tem verde.
All right,
Tem
I'm in a
verde?
good mood.
Tem.
You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them.
É só
I
verde.
turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly
não
and
era?
then dying alone.
Azul.
Other times, I let the office
Qual
sink
é
into
o
the
azul?
ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Azul casa.
I have to
Não,
say
eu
this,
quero o
though,
azul.
this version of events has been rather amusing.
Azul
Watching you
10.
try to make sense of everything and take back the control
Esse
wrested
azul.
away from
Não
you,
é o
it's
azul.
quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness,
Cara, é o
only
azul 10,
34
será?
seconds left. But I'm
Mas eu sou
enjoying this
cego.
so much. You know what? To
Cara, eu
hell
acho
with
que é o
it.
azul 10.
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Cara,
Oh dear me,
o que
what's the matter,
acontece se eu
Stanley?
aceitar a morte?
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just
Eu quero
assume when you
apenas
saw that
aceitar a
timer
morte.
that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from
Poxa,
button
dois.
to button, screen
Será que
to
esse-
screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no,
Cara,
these
onde que
colored
fica
ones.
esse azul
Or maybe this
dois?
big red button, or this door. Everything, anything,
dois?
something
Não, né?
here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have
Cara,
any
eu não sei o que
idea what your
fazer.
purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Azul 4.
But here's a spoiler for
Não.
you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the
Eu vou
action
morrer.
moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
Ah, eu vou morrer muito.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's
Cara, eu
30
não sei o que-
seconds you have left to struggle.
Agora
30
eu
seconds
entendi
until
o
a
que
big
é
boom
pra eu
and then
fazer.
nothing. No ending here.
Eu aceitei a
Just you
morte.
being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke.
Cara!
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of
final
your
legal.
inevitable life from the moment we
Pro
fade in
jogo.
until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Que legal! Acabou ou eu vai mostrar que eu fiquei vivo? Ou vai começar o jogo? Provavelmente vai começar o jogo desde o começo. Esse foi o vídeo. Falou!